the streak continues. The 3-land terror. Hello, good game. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. Thank you so much for taking the time to support the channel. I hope you're all having a magical day. Standard bans. Faceless Haven is out of here. So you may have guessed we're playing Milky Smooth. This is version 11, a standard best of one deck, and we are tearing it up. We went from 97% Mythic all the way into the top 1,300, undefeated, if you will, a 100% win rate. I know the sample size isn't massive, but we don't want to ruin everybody's day, right? We have to leave some other winners in the pool other than ourselves. Breaking down the deck list in today's video, the strategies, the synergies held within, discussing the changes that we made to the build from the last variant. We'll demonstrate and showcase all of this in the gameplay footage, wrap up with our final thoughts, deck review, and card of the day. And now I have been playing Milky Smooth since last June. This is 7 months ago, going on 8 months now. We're on version 11 of the deck. You know, it is absolutely fine-tuned, and you should not have a problem reaching Mythic if you follow today's video. So, make sure to like the video, show your support, subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing more Magic the Gathering Arena content, and let's take a look at the deck. Alright, here we are, Milky Smooth 11, standard best of 160 cards with a 2.3 average mana value. We do have 36 creatures, 0 non-creatures, and 24 land. Faceless Haven is gone. So, first thing we're trying is Cave of the Frost Dragon. And while I do like it, there are some alternatives in which we will discuss at the end of today's video, saving it because in today's gameplay, we are focused on experimenting with Cave of the Frost Dragon. And while, you know, it didn't let us down, but we still have alternatives to discuss. So, losing the Haven, in which became an attacker for 3 mana. It had Vigilance, so you really needed that 4 mana up, the Faceless Haven, of course, and then the 3 other mana, which was nice. As a 4/3, it was dealing consistent damage. If you got wiped, the idea was you still had an attacker. However, many times this attacker would provide lethal, and if you didn't have the wipe, then they're just going super wide, and you know, that's really, really oppressive there with the Haven for 3. So, Cave of the Frost Dragon, it has some pros and it has some cons. Cons, you know, this is going to cost 6 mana to get that attack through. Much like the Faceless Haven, the Cave needs to remain untapped as an attacker, and you'll need to activate it for 5. So, you know, 5 and 1 is 6. That is not 3. You know what I mean? That is way further down the road, or 4, I should say, than we typically would be acting on it. Pros. It's a 3/4 with flying, right? That evasion through flying is very, very good. You know, getting above everybody else is really nice. And actually, with this deck, we're focused on flying quite a bit compared to some other mono white builds. That's what we've changed since the last version. Some of the newer edits as well that you may be unfamiliar with. And now just going through the deck card by card here is Allenbach Escort. This is fantastic for 1 mana. It's a 1/1 with Vigilance. You can sacrifice it at instant speed. Target creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it gains lifelink and indestructible until the end of turn. Selfless Savior, pro and con. Pro, lifelink. Con, you need the +1/+1 on the counter you're giving indestructible to. However, Selfless Savior was an absolute bomb, and well, Allenbach Escort is as well. Usher of the Fallen, nothing new here. This is a 2/1 for 1, Boast for 2, which means whenever you've attacked with it, you can activate that ability. We can create a 1/1 white human warrior creature token out of that, which is quite favorable. Gaining additional value through our mana base. There is not a lot of draw or additional mana, or not mana, but value in the deck, and the Usher is a good way to provide some of that value. Intrepid Adversary, a 3/1 for 2 with lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 any number of times and then put a Valor counter on it for each number of times you've paid that, and each creature you control will get +1/+1 for each Valor counter the Intrepid has on it, which is pretty cool. So another nice way to sink your extra mana into a single card and gain additional value, much like the Usher of the Fallen. Luminarch Aspirants, nothing here is new. It's a 1/1 for 2, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control. Absolutely fantastic. And Thalia, Guardian of Thabarin, for 2. Pardon my pronunciation on here. I know I can hear you guys in the comments already. It's a 2/1 with first strike and non-creature spells. You uh, non-creature spells will cost 1 more to cast for everyone, you and your opponent, and that's why we don't have any non-creatures in the deck. If it was not for Thalia, we would run something like Maul of the Skyclaves, Portable Hole. However, the tax that Thalia provides on your opponent's side is, unyielding, because if they have field wipes, if they have really any form of field interaction on your creatures, yeah, good luck, right? If it's a Fading Hope, for example, that Fading Hope, which is now 1 mana, is now 2, and that really is going to slow them down, basically doubling its cost, which is pretty cool. Moving forward into our 3 drops now, we have Brutal Cathar for 3. It's a 2/2, and whenever this creature enters the battlefield or transforms into the Brutal Cathar, back into itself, exile target creature an opponent controls until this creature leaves the battlefield, transforming into the Moonrage Brute. 3/3 with first strike, ward 3, ward pay 3 life, which is really good as you're an aggro deck. If they're going to pay 3 life, go ahead. And of course, this is the Nightbound side. Daybound's a 2/2. To switch between Daybound and Nightbound, you would not cast on Daybound. It would flip to night, and then you would need to double cast on night to flip it back to day to re-trigger the Brutal Cathar. This is, one of the best cards in the deck, just terrorizing any other creature deck in its sight. The Elite Spellbinder for 3 is a 3/1 with flying. Whenever it enters the battlefield, look at target opponent's hand. You may exile a non-land card from it. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owners may still play it at an additional cost of 2. Very, very good. Not only do you get to see what is in their hand, what the future turns for your field look like. Are there any field wipes or interaction, or do we have to go ahead to just slam in, right? While simultaneously dealing with their most threatening card in the matchup. We have 3 copies of Redain, God of the Worthy. Backside of this is Valkyria Protector's Shield. 3 for Redain, 4 for the Shield. Really focusing on Redain 9 times out of 10. Play the Shield if you already have a Redain in play, or your opponent has gone wide looking to deal 1 damage through a bunch of attackers. You could just nullify that there. However, before we get to that, Redain is a 2/3 with flying and vigilance. Snowlands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Snowlands will not be super relevant in future decks. Blood on the Snow is really the best payoff we have right now. Other than that, I don't really know what uses Snowlands anymore. So Redain, God of the Worthy does no longer shut down the mono white decks. Mono green, still using Blizzard's Brawl, I suppose. However, it's not the majority of the meta, but still nice. So, non-creature spells your opponents cast with mana value 4 or greater cost 2 more to cast. Okay, so now this is where Redain is still valuable in the meta. Field wipes, up. Any big interaction that they may have, Planeswalkers, for example, those are going to be more expensive, and that's really what we want to do with this mono white deck, as it is an aggro deck, but very much a tax deck as well. The Shield for 4, if a source and opponent control would deal damage to a permanent you or you control, you'll prevent 1 of that damage, which is quite cool. And then whenever another permanent you control becomes a target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, counter that spell unless they pay 1, which is fairly decent as well, right? Adeline, Resplendent Cathar for 3. 4 toughness. Its power is equal to the number of creatures we have in play. This is great when combined with that boast ability. We attack, Adeline is going to make a human, and then Usher, before you've dealt combat damage with Adeline, can boast to instant speed another creature human into play, helping Adeline hit for a little bit more damage. Its power is equal to the number of creatures you control. Whenever you attack for each opponent, create a 1/1 white human creature token that's tapped and attacking the player or planeswalker, or a player and planeswalker that they control, which is great. So it's just a nice way to increase the power of Adeline in combat. Skyclave Apparition for 3, it's a 2/2, and when it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-token, non-land permanent you don't control with mana value 4 or less. When it leaves the battlefield, they'll create an X blue illusion creature token, where X is equal to that exiled card's mana value. Really good. So the thing here is, Brutal Cathar will give them their creatures back after they remove it. So you want, in at least the mirror match or any matchup that is running Brutal Cathar, to save and prioritize your Skyclaves and take their Cathars with your Skyclaves. That's really the most important thing to do with the Skyclave here. If you're getting anything else, you know, it's just bonus value, right? You know, grabbing their blockers, continuing to attack in is great. However, where, like I say, it really does shine is against Brutal Cathars, because Brutal Cathar is going to give those creatures back, whereas the Skyclave Apparition is not. So you can, instead of getting in these Brutal Cathar loops where they've got a Brutal Cathar, you've got your Brutal Cathar takes theirs, and then they play another one that takes yours, and then they get another one, takes another thing, then you get one that takes theirs, and then you get yours back that takes theirs. And you know, just this weird cycle goes back and forth. You can end it with a Skyclave Apparition on their Brutal Cathar. It's like, well, that's dealt with forever. So thank you very much. Anywho, the last card in the deck is the Legion Angel. This is the lottery card. We love to see this. If we can curve into Legion Angel, we've probably won. For 4 mana, a 4/3 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, you may reveal a card you own named Legion Angel from outside the game, put it into your hand, right? So from our sideboard, grabbing that into our hand, that's the only draw we have. It's so sad. So we have creature generation through Usher of the Fallen, through Adeline. Very, very nice. Additional mana sinkage through the Intrepid, and then that pseudo draw through the Legion Angel, I suppose, is quite nice. 20 planes with the cave here as well. We do have a mystery card in the sideboard, but we will not be revealing that until our wrap-up portion before card of the day. So that's the deck. If you guys have any questions, concerns, you know, let me know in the comments below. Myself and the community will do our best to try to help you out, answer any of those that you may have. Make sure to like the video, show your support, subscribe to the channel if you're interested in more Mythic ranked decks like this for Magic the Gathering Arena, and of course, you know, enjoy today's gameplay. Alrighty, going first. They fixed the symbols, I see, which is pretty cool. So we're starting at 97% today. Let's see where we can get to. This is the newest variant, Milky Smooth 11, which is like a lot, you know. I've been playing mono white a little bit too much. I feel like we need to really corner a new deck. I'm gonna hit first because they're scared of our untapped mana, and then we can just kind of slide in with Athalia. You know, it's not going to be Fading Hoped, so that's fine. Evolving Wild. So is this a mill deck? Right? Why else would you run Wilds without the crab? You know what I mean? Let's just take a little peeksy-do, because we know they're not casting anything for 1, because it would cast for 2 because of Thalia. Oh, Battle of Frost and Fire. There is that Fading Hope there, right? The Vision is a draw. Anti-Cognition. Instant speed for 3, and that's with the tax, I believe, right now, so it would only be 2. Counter target creature or planeswalker spell unless its controller pays 2 if they have 8 or more cards in their graveyard. I really do just think it's the battle. 6, we could push it to 7, they only have 5. I mean, Fading Hope is, like, it doesn't really matter because our things just come back, right? We're just going to smash them again. And if they want to bounce the Binder, which does the most amount of damage, and we get to exile their hand again, that's fine, right? That's not really the worst for us. But in turn, the field wipe actually does suck, right? We really don't want that, so. Oh, Double Hopes. Nice, such a good card. Similar to Unsummon, but with the Scry, much like Play with Fire is like Shock, also with the Scry. So it's pretty cool that there's some love shown there. Talia in play. Intrepid out. It is 0, and then we'll hit for 3 down to 13. They're tapped, so we can play everything on our first main phase. That's it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Victory. They could have played another couple turns, you know what I mean? Tried to survive, and, you know, 1 game, 1 win. Let's go. Alright, would you look who it is? Sanyo in the house. 1100. I like the hand. Let's keep it. Hello, good game. Alright, we're always in for a good time here. What will we see? I don't have a Thalia. Oh, we'll do our best. We'll do our best. Oh, I hate the fact that it's gonna be Fading Hope, but we're just gonna play into it anyways. Yup. Still a good card. Check out that hand and see what else we're dealing with. Oh. Take that command. Hit for 2. Aggressive Iteration is basically a turn off unless they get a Fading Hope. Their land is in untapped. There she is. Oof. Hit for 6. I like it. Usher in play as well with Thalia as insurance. Taking the turn off again for expressive. We can pull. We need 5 and 6. So expensive for the cave. Push up Thalia. Nice hit. So close. Keep creatures in hand. We have lethal anyways, so, you know, they need a field wipe. So I'd rather, you know, generate a creature through the mana via Usher for the token. Good game, Sonya. We'll see you again soon, my friend. Oh, just like that. We're the numbers, baby. Let's go. Alrighty, on the draw. Hand is alright. Hand is alright. Apparently, I went from 1800 to 99% as we've started a match. Which, ooh, appreciate you. It looks like someone is up to no good here alongside us. These exquisite sleeves are nice. The hole, interesting. So this might be a little bit of a different build, but still. Okay, so this is probably a second cast deck, which is not bad. I'm still gonna Thalia for non-creatures in case they have a Maul of the Skyclaves. You know, more holes. Something like this. And it's a legendary in case it does get exiled. It's not as bad. Hit for 2. It's relatively unpleasant, but I'm gonna go ahead and grab that Skyclave, make a 2/2 token. 2 2/2s in play. Let's go. And then we'll Brutal and save our Skyclave. Oh. Okay. I see how it is. I'm gonna actually take that, I think. Maybe we should have kept Usher and forced it to Knight. Taking our Usher back here as well. That's a really nice fold out. Now hopefully there's no more exile. Right? 3 cards in their hand. Ooh. So this could be worse, right? Actually don't mind that, to be honest, because we just grab it right back. They get the token out of it, but is it that big of a deal? No blocks. The 3/3 is pretty good. Cave out, Skyclave on the Brutal that has our Brutal. We get our Brutal back. We Brutal. No, we brutal the token because there's nothing for our Skyclave to take right now. When we brutal, they're brutal. So we take the 3/3 here, believe it or not. And I think we swing. Or we don't, we wait and try to top deck in an Intrepid. Or we hold up, because we only have 1 mana right now, and we wouldn't be able to make that token, and we should, if we're gonna, you know, kamikaze style it. Oh, that's bad. Huh? But I will do this, though. Each of these do 1, we kill it, and then we take the shield, we pay 1 to... Oh, we don't even have to pay 1 to target it. Land out. Let's see what's in your hand, my friend. Gotcha. I mean, they can still cast that. It doesn't matter. And we hit for 6. Okay. I'll allow it. We're 15. They're going down to 14 here. They don't want to lose the 1/1. It does become a 2/2 and... Oh, they top deck a land, so they do have access to the Cave Dragano, which is good. It blocks down to 14. We also have access to it, which is pretty cool. And we've not cast, so we go to Night, which is also pretty cool. So we're swinging in for 6. Now nighttime. We're not double casting. They're not double casting. They do need defenders. Like, they should have kept that flyer back, right? Because we're hitting for 6 damage in the air. So yeah, they... Oops! LOL. Oh! Lottery card off the top. It's too bad we don't have another land. That would be sick to double cast with that. So we're actually not hitting for as much as we'd like. It wouldn't have to block it, so we may as well just play defensively and string it out 1 more turn. I don't see this going wrong. Another shield. I mean, it's good, but a little too late. And we did really well. You know, we had Skyclave Apparitions, we had the binding, or not the bind, the binding Cathars, the brutal Cathars, 1627. Right? I don't even know what cards are in the deck, you guys. That's how easy it is. You slap them down and turn them sideways, and you know, climb up that Mythic rank. On the draw, as always, only 3 drops in hand. Oh no. We have to mulligan. We can keep 6 and toss a Skyclave. Pretty good hand, actually. Tossing down with our Cave of the Frost Dragons, which provides some more sustainability through your consistent 3 drops of double white mana, allowing us to run 4 copies of it, whereas Faceless Haven, sometimes you'd get 2 Faceless Havens in your opening hand, only 1 white source, and now you can't play everything. Well, wow, what are the chances? And that's why it's better than the Haven. Mana base wise. Offensively, not so much. I mean, are they running Destroy or do they have Exile? Because if they have Destroy, we need the Indestructible. And I think we should focus on that anyways. But having the Vigilance would be pretty cool. But let's not be greedy. We should have been. That sucks. Good for them. Looks like I'm on a white deck, Lewis. That's not great, but... We could have put it on the Escort, attacked for 2 through the Cathar, but... think that's going to get us where we want to be. We're going to push up on Thalia. We should still probably just take the Cathar. Oh, especially now, right? Oh, this is fantastic. You ding-a-ling. I'm going to grab Indestructible on the Luminarch and life gain. So we gain 2 life, we kill Thalia, and then we regain their Brutal Cathar. That's gone forever. They might get a 3-3. And then I don't want to stack all of the value on this Luminarch Aspirant. As tempting as it may be, they could have more removal, more exile, like that exactly is our problem. They take that Skyclave, interesting. They just want that 3-3 and they want to give us access to more exile later. Interesting. It's so kind of them, you know what I mean? Let's see what else we're dealing with as a priority. No red mana. Those are all humans. Dang. Both of these are very bad. Oh. Very bad indeed. This is going to be a problem for sure. Let's just get in defensive mode here. No attacks. We might need to shield here. If they draw a red source, this is looking pretty grim. And they play that before getting the 4th land, so that's not the worst. It does give them access to life gain. The Vigilance flying is real good. As long as they don't play Lena and Alina to push up that Intrepid. And maybe we can just like get in over top quickly before they get there. They could have faked us out here with one. They didn't, which is great. I mean, the Luminarch Aspirant's really good. And we'll just kill this thing, right? I mean, it kills one of us. Right, it can't deal 7 damage. It's gonna kill the 5/5. This is what it is. We get the 2/2. Is what it is. Ah. I mean, another flyer's not bad as long as they don't get that red land, right? Take that other Intrepid. And push up our Dane. Use Vigilance. In for 8, down to 10. Lethal next turn without a red source. Boom! Undefeated, you guys. I believe we had a 100% win rate. Top 1,500 from, you know, what did we start at? Like 94% or something silly? I don't even know. Pretty decent, though. Well, I mean, you know, Helena and Alina would have been really good against us here. Luckily, the Luminarch... Wow, but they've got their own Luminarchs as well, so... you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles, though, sometimes. Going first with our favorites, turn 1 and turn 2s. Nice turn 3. I can't say that the Binder's my favorite, but it's up there, right? Brutal Cathar is probably my favorite. I mean, it has to be, right? It's so good. Okay. What are we facing? Ooh, mono blue maybe? Is it? Is it? I think they have a Fading Hope. In fact, I'm almost certain they do. What else would it be? It's a draw for one or something, like a draw and scry, or you know, put cards in the grave, surveil but not surveil. For those of you who've been around. Yeah, I'm gonna just put it on the Luminarch because I believe that if we put it on the Escort, they would bounce it. However, its mana value is cheaper, but at least this way we get damage in. And I'm all about the DPS, or I guess in this case, DPT, damage per turn. As we do end our turn here. You know, that one damage might be what wins us the match. I don't know. Each point counts. It's an Is It build. They've got red here, so. We're looking for Thalia. Right? Our saving grace. And they've foretold. Now, is that Alrund's Epiphany? Are people still doing that? Take our turn. Let's also take a little peek-sees here. They're tapped, so we can play a creature on our first main phase. Do whatever we want. Oh, no you don't. Burn down the house. Get out of here. Hit for 4. We have Indestructible on the Luminarch Aspirant. We want to play this other Escort, get a counter on the Binder for Indestructible there as well. They do have Galvanic Hope, though. Right? They choose not to Galvanic the Hope. No. Nice play. Nice play. That's expert level play. I'll admit, that was juicy. That was a juicy line, my bro. Lady bro. Ghoul or Goblin, most certainly, though. We know this much. Wish I had a... But this is, more expensive, right? For 7. They got 4, 5, 6. It's not 7. We do get the turn. Like, we get the chance. We get the chance. Let's take it. No, you don't. No, you don't. Swing for 4. Down to 11. And turn. They have 6 available mana after the land. 7 for burn down the house. We have Indestructible on the Luminarch. Liar is also out of the question this turn, entering in next turn for 7 with no available mana to protect it. It is, how do you say, a rock and a hard place here. Need a land. They do gain life here. Now, this is relatively frustrating. Do they draw and discard? The nice thing is you get to draw first, right? So worst case scenario. Ooh. Fading Hope, eh? You dirty dog. A triple hope? That seems a bit excessive, don't you say? My bro. Triple frostbite. Interesting. All right. I mean, that's not a hope. It could have been... Well, I don't know if it could have been worse. Maybe the hope would have been better. I don't know. It's really hard to say. Wow. That is good. As long as they don't draw land, right? And this is all on our turn, right? So we have actually life gain here for 4. Up to 24. Okay, so we just really don't want them to draw that 7th land. That second escort, I think, saves us here. If they do draw the land from burn down the house, they might make the devils, though. He might be a pesky little devil, though. They're doing well. I mean, I'm bricking. I only have 3 land. A little hard to execute. Yeah, they're being a little devil. Okay. Where's the flying when you need it? But we can't play the shield. I'm sure they kill the escort here. Which is a bummer. I could kill Thalia, though, and we'll try to kill Thalia. But then Redain should kind of take the lifting away. I think I would actually, at this point, protect Thalia and Redain over the Luminarch. They were smart, they would kill Redain. They were super big-brained. Right? We grab the life here. Alright, again, that's another 4 life. Well, 3, I guess this is it's gonna get in there for a bit. Come on. Show us some love. The Devils really slowed us down. Oh, the streak continues. The 3-land terror. 13-12, you guys. I don't even know where we started. It definitely wasn't there, though. Absolutely loving it. Alrighty then. Milky Smooth, version 11, not really much changing, but how do you really fix something that's not broken? They would have to do far worse than Faceless Haven to slow us down, let me tell you what. However, this does bring me into, the main topic of the video is this the best route for us to take without Faceless Haven? Cave of the Frost Dragon certainly does seem to be a good fit, however, what about the long-lost Crawling Barrens? Adds colorless mana, not the best, similar to the Faceless Haven, where you don't want to have too many of these in your opening hand because things like Skyclave Apparition, Adeline, they cost 2 white mana, right? So we really like to be consistent. However, for 4 mana, 5 in total, 1 less than the Cave Dragon, we're going to attack with a 2/2. The turn after, it's going to be a 4/4, gaining advantage and mana value, I guess just advantage in general, over the Frost Dragon. No flying. Food for thought. It is cheaper if you're looking to do more damage quickly, right? However, I do believe at turn 5, you should... That's the question, though. Is it might... That 2 damage unblocked on turn 5 might be what you need. However, you may also still be emptying your hand at this point. However, If it did mean lethal, you would much rather take lethal than play another creature that would just have summoning sickness. With that being said, we do have Brutal Cathar, we have Skyclave Apparitions, which can be played and still be used as an advantage with their summoning sickness as they open up our attack lanes. Food for thought. I really do think that Crawling Barrens is decent and it is worth our consideration, but it doesn't have flying and only really becomes active one turn earlier and begins to outpace the value if it survives and you activate it multiple times. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I always love reading them. Thank you so much for taking the time to support the channel. I appreciate you. Let's move in to card of the day. Alrighty, so here we go. I mean, I do definitely need to set up a new camera, and this was not supposed to be card of the day. Wrong card. However, Sudden Salvation, instant speed. Choose up to 3 target permanent cards in graveyards that were put there from the battlefield this turn. Return them to the battlefield tapped under their owner's control. You draw a card for each opponent who controls one or more of those permanents. So this is pretty spooky. You know, grabbing things back at instant speed for 4, I think is fantastic. A reverse field wipe, and you can even actually gain some value from giving them maybe permanents that they don't want to control to them, right? Like a curse or something, and then getting a draw off that. So, Sudden Salvation, pretty cool beans. Card of the day, Titan Shield, the coolest protection products for your goods, right? Double sleeve-in, top loaders, you know, portfolio, whatever. They've got it all. Check it out. Linktree link will give you 15% off on all that. Yeah. Cheers, you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. Appreciate you. Have a magical day, and we'll see you soon in the next.